to another DORKLAIR action figure review. Today I'm taking a look at the 2025 Toylanta exclusive Artillery Team Leader ATL-25 from Four Horsemen Studios. Big shout out to Van and Jordan of the Purple Gang Gang podcast, who are friends with the event organizer, and those guys sent this over to me to get a good look at it and kind of just share my impressions. I am not going to be at Toylanta, unfortunately, so this is my little experience, my little Toylanta experience here, getting a look at their exclusive figure. Now, this is essentially Cosmic Legions parts with some Mythic Legions parts mixed in. It is not a Mythic or Cosmic Legions figure proper. It is its own thing. It is ATL-25. Who knows? Maybe they'll have an ATL-26 and it'll be something else. But similar to like Demistros and Stavros and the other, kind of like exclusive figures that are not technically legions. This is its own thing, sort of an homage to G.I. Joe. I do believe Toylanta is a very G.I. Joe heavy kind of convention, so there's that side of it, and probably the reason why they went military on this. It is space themed, but it could almost fit in with G.I. Joe, right? Like G.I. Joe has some sci-fi elements, and so I think that this actually does kind of have that sort of vibe that they are going for there. The camouflage is fantastic. I love the earth tones in this figure. It is just an awesome looking military figure. Got a ton of parts, ton of extra parts. It does have some exclusive bits, so I'll cover those in a bit. There's 3 pieces that are exclusive to the Toylanta version. Down the road, there will be a standard version like they usually do, and it won't come with those 3 pieces. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Let's get into this review. Okay, getting up close, this is how he was right out of the box with the bare arms and the Zendi Amanthir head from Mythic Legions. Looking really cool. I really like this darker skin tone they've gone with for the Zendi head, and it looks awesome with that Novian lean torso. I don't know. I don't know if I've just never seen anyone do this swap before, but the bare arms, they flow really nicely with the silhouette of that torso. It looks really good, honestly. They do have just the one neck. I think it would have been nice if they had included a bare neck, but they do just have that armored neck there. And the details are awesome. This is one of those fully painted figures, right? Well, first of all, you've got a little detail there with the ATL-25, and then you've got the little details painted in on this guy, even on the back, right? All the little details are painted in, super crisp. He's got the tusk arms here, or the tusk forearms, again painted in just a really nicely detailed multicolor look. Then you've got the belt, which really is transformed when it has those more earthly tones. These pouches just take on a whole new dimension, painted in that kind of leathery look. There is some black in there, so a lot of different paint applications going on. And then into the camouflage of the legs, which I think look fantastic. I think they did an awesome job painting up that camouflage. And then we have those Novian lean boots that have that kind of sci-fi element to them with the knee pad, and then the camouflage continuing below the knee into the boot. That's a boot cut right there. And then, some more kind of detailed straps and stuff in the lower boot with some silver details. And like I said, so this is a very deluxe paint job kind of figure, and the weapons and everything it comes with have just amazing paint work. They kind of, they didn't hold back anything on this figure. And here's a look at the entire figure all zoomed out. And like I said, I really like the way those bare arms work with that Novian lean torso. I honestly think I prefer these bare arms over the cloth arms that they did use on Novian, and that come as an alternative on him. And ATL stands right at 7 inches, just slightly above 7 inches tall. And for comparisons, I got a couple Cosmic Legions with some head swaps. On the left is the amazing Alien and Creature Creator, one half of that 2-pack. That's the body. Shares most parts with the ATL-25, but it has the alternate head from the Mythic Legion's Con exclusive 2-pack. And then on the right is basically the spacesuit Thygar with a custom head sculpt from Von Berg Studios. And so you can kind of get a sense that like he's gonna fit right in with your cosmics. He's just gonna be more like a Forest Planet kind of like tactical guy if you're gonna mix him in with your cosmic stuff. Now I've cut way back on G.I. Joe Classified, on Action Force, on modern war type figures, so I don't have a lot to compare here. But first of all, here's some Mezco figures. We've got Death Adder and a Black Skull Brigade with the head swap, so it gives you a sense of how he looks with a couple Mezco figures. Here he is with a couple other Mezcos. On the left is the Hellboy from the most recent movie, and on the right is a tactical suit Batman from the Justice League with a Sovereign Knight head and a custom cape. And then here he is with a Black Series Grand Admiral Thrawn and a G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Trooper. For accessories, I'm going to start off with the exclusive parts. So he comes with 3 things that are exclusive to Toylanta. Toylanta is March 28th, 29th, and 30th, I believe, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so if you want to get these, you need to get yourself over to Toylanta. I heard it's an amazing convention. It's in Atlanta, obviously, Toylanta, Georgia. So I wish I could go. It sounds like an amazing event, but this is one of the 3. It's a like electrified staff of some sort with some electrical effect in the middle. This is a piece that has a topper that is removable, so that piece can come off there. He's also got this sweet shield that's got some like glossy blacks and then like this flat gray, and it's got the ATL-25 on the front. And this one has 2 options for mounting. So if you want to put it on his arm and like have it attached, you can use the peg like this, or it comes with an alternate piece in the middle here where you can swap this piece out and put in the piece with the handle and have him holding it in his hand. And then my favorite of the 3 exclusive pieces is this helmet. This is my favorite of the Tusk helmets, and seeing it painted in this kind of like more earth tones way is awesome. I really like it. Now, I just want to say that on some of the promotional materials, they had the wrong head. They showed this head as the exclusive head. I have confirmed with the guys at Toylanta and with Jeremy Gerard at Four Horsemen Studios, this is the exclusive head. So if you're seeing the old photos, you might be just seeing, before they fixed it. And then this does have one of these visor pieces that is removable. If I can get my fingernail under there. And that's how it looks without that translucent black piece on top of it. So there is some paint detail down in that helmet. And here's how he looks with the other more kind of alien shaped helmet, and that one is also painted on the inside. I can pull the visor off this one, maybe. There we go. And there's a look at that one underneath. It's got the same paint scheme. And then getting into the non-exclusive stuff, everything else you see will come with the standard figure. We have a pair of cloth style arms that match the cloth style of that torso. There's some shoulder pauldrons. I believe those are from Vorga originally. And then, like I said before, we have that alternate head sculpt there. He comes with multiple sets of hands, all based on the Valak hands from Mythic Legion's Alithia wave. And they have like a little bit of silver detail there. This is a pair of just regular non-trigger gripping hands with vertical hinges. He's got a pair of trigger finger hands with vertical hinges. And he's got a pair of gesturing hands with horizontal hinges. And these can be used also as a semi-grip to cradle the barrel of the rifle in a 2-handed pose. He does come with this huge machine gun type weapon with this crazy ammo belt that goes all the way back to this backpack that's painted really well. All of this stuff is reused from Vorga. I will say I feel like this stuff is a little tighter and it stays in a little bit better. But yeah, there's a good look at the backpack, and then a good look at all the crazy fully, like I said, this figure is all the way with the paint apps. He's also got a very cool camouflage rifle. Again, these are the same Cosmic Legion's rifles we've been getting, but it's really neat to see them with these different paint jobs. So again, fully painted. And even this pistol at first glance almost looks all black, but actually has a lot of different paint apps. It's got at least 4 colors. It's got a bright silver on the front. It's got some blacks. It's got that, solid kind of military gray throughout. And then even these little dots here have some, like a slightly brighter silver than the rest of that gray. He comes with 4 of these little clear pegs that you can use to kind of do some weapon storage. So you can, for example, take the pistol and then store it on his hip like this if you'd like. And, you know, some options like this one has a little hole here, and then there's some holes in the backpack. So different little options with those pegs to kind of like have him storing his weapons in different ways. And speaking of those Cosmic Legion's holes that are all around those figures, he does come with the backpack piece that is typically used for tubes. So if you have a figure, if you have extra tubes from any of your other figures and you want to use those tubes, they will go in here. But he doesn't come with tubes himself to use this piece. So on its own, it doesn't do much. But if you have other Cosmic Legion's figures, you do get an extra one of these so that you can add tubes or other things that you might be able to stick on there. And he does come with this belt, which doesn't go over the shoulder very well. Like, it's not a shoulder strap type belt on him. I know it is on the original figure it came with, which was, I believe it came with Ias Sepetian, the gray alien. But on ATL-25, it's more likely going to be useful as a belt around the waist. And before we get into articulation, I just wanted to confirm the arms. So if you look at these arms and then you compare them to the new arms, which we know have been used on the George figure, and then the old arms, which are used on the original Barbarian, you'll see that these are actually the newer arms. And you can confirm that with the range. Like, these newer arms, it's not a ton more range, but it definitely gets more range. And they're also, they're just like a little more detailed in terms of like texturing on the skin. So these are definitely the newer arms. Real quick, articulation, standard Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, 1.0 body articulation. The head is on a ball joint. It looks up, down, side, side, and then all the way around. We do have the hinge at the arm, comes out to about level, swings all the way around. Single jointed elbow comes just about 90, a little past 90. You got a twist at the elbow, twist at the forearm and at the wrist, and then you have a hinge at the wrist. This one, these are the horizontal hinges, but the other 2 sets of hands have the vertical hinges. Does have that nice ball joint at the waist. Doesn't get a lot of crunch forward on this guy. You got to kind of finagle him over this way, and then he goes back a lot, but you're going to get a bunch of gap there. But, you know, pretty decent range in that waist. And then you've got the legs that they get jammed up by this crotch piece here, which is one of those like plug-in pieces. You got to come out and forward. But when you do, kicks forward a pretty good amount, back a bit, the butt plate is going to get in the way. Twist at the top of the leg, out into the splits, single jointed knee, comes up just slightly past 90 degrees. Twist below the knee, twist at the boot cut, there's a hinge at the ankle, twist at the ankle, and then there's a rocker as well. Okay, one quick easy pop and swap. I am still dealing with a finger injury that makes it take a really long time to do pop and swap, so I haven't been doing a lot of them. But it's essentially the Gaspar figure. I did use the torso and arms from the accessory pack. They just are slightly bulkier. But you could do this if you have that Gaspar figure. You could totally do this straight up with that figure. I love the way the wraps look. Gives it like this kind of space orc grunt type look here. And there's a lot of options you could do. I know the Purple Gang had some really fun swaps on their channel. So if you do want to see more swaps, check out theirs. They did a Rakondo figure using the Gideon head with the mustache and all that. Looked amazing. So really good options here with this figure. Anyway, that'll do it for my video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, may the force be with you.